No, that totally washed out. Okay. So today, or right now, I'm going to talk about gatekeeping. So gatekeeping is a concept that you're going to have a gate and someone could pick the lock or open it, and you need to have some sort of person or maybe two people, like guards of some kind, to keep people from utilizing that gate. Because otherwise, there's not really an easily accessible entry point, because there would be a long fence or a wall, and that they're really only going to be able to enter through that gate. So that's what those people are going to be there for. They're going to be the gatekeepers. And then once you're inside, that could be, a town, it could be a cemetery, it could be all kinds of things that are beyond the, gate, so to speak, or on the other side of that fence. So if you really want to get in, you probably could use some other method to get in there, but the easiest way is going to be through those two gatekeepers that are going to let you in. Oh no, and that's literal gatekeeping. I'm going to be talking about the figurative gatekeeping. So I'm a fan of a lot of things, like a lot of things, and I'm probably a filthy casual when it comes to various things, but I'm okay with that. There's a lot of stuff I know a lot about, but just because you know a lot about something doesn't necessarily mean like you're even a fan too. Like I know a lot about Disney. I'm not necessarily a fan of Disney, but I'm also like a gamer, and that's where like skill level can really be put into sort of a practical application. Like I love the Pokemon games. I'm pretty good at those. I was okay at Overwatch back in the day, playing tanks, etc. I'm pretty good at like a lot of the various like old school platformer games I play. One I'm not very good at, but I'm a very big fan, is Mega Man. I love the concepts and a lot of the that's full of robots. Like, I love robots, and the way that Mega Man can adapt and take powers. It's one of my favorite things in like media. Is that's a character or like archetype or power or element or whatever thing. That's my favorite thing. Like Rogue and the X-Men could like absorb people's powers and use them. I really love that. Like if I could have superpowers, I think that's what I would want. If other people have powers, I guess. If other people don't have powers, I don't want to be able to take other superpowers because then there's nothing to take. But there's also Blue Mage in Final Fantasy. That's a enemy spell thing. It's different in all the games. Basically, you have to be hit by the spell, like the fire breath, and then you get fire breath. And then Mega Man, when he beats the bosses, like he beats Elect Man, then he gets the electricity shot, and then when he beats the Ice Man, he gets the ice shot. There's also this like rock paper scissors thing. It's called Rock Man in Japan, because that's exactly what it is. Is the metal guy is better at beating this guy, etc. And like the whole it gets really crazy, and because there's all these games. There's like 11 games. There's like 8 bosses in the other ones, but like why? Fire beating this, wind beating that, time beating this and that, because there's Gemini, etc., etc. But like I love that as well. I think those concepts are really fun. It's also kind of like a buzzkill too, because if you're really good at knowing how the game is played and beaten, like you'll just beat those bosses so easily. But that's the like most interesting part of it is that part. But to say like I'm not like a real fan because I can't beat the games, I can't. I suck at the games. I have to put them on like baby mode, which they don't even have baby mode for Mega Man. I have to like cheat. I have to use save states. I use King Genie. I know I've done all the platforming in 1 through 4 or 5. Like I did that part. Like I did all the jumps and everything because I didn't cheat that much. But it's difficult when it comes to that in a game too, because like giving yourself infinite lives, like I'll never worry about that. Like, oh, I shouldn't have infinite lives. I'm like, have infinite lives. But there's other like levels of cheating. Like, what's too far? Like, how much save state abuse is too much? But I'm like, but it's a game. Like, you're kind of meant to enjoy it however you want. Like if you have a ball and you go out and play with a ball, who cares if you're playing basketball or soccer? You're playing with a ball. Like, you know, I don't care if you're kicking it and punching it and hitting it. Like, you want to go outside and play with a ball, that's fine. You're not playing real basketball, real soccer, football, etc. Like, who cares? You're going out and playing with that thing. And that's kind of how I see it with video games. Like, yeah, I'm playing with a thing, like a ball. Maybe I'm not doing it your way. Like, I'm not a speed runner. I'm not competitive. I'm just playing with a thing. Don't worry about it. So, like, the gatekeepers, you know, like, not a real fan, not a real this, can't beat it. I'm like, I don't care. Sucks that you have that attitude. Like, I like this thing. I like other people that like the thing. I don't need to talk to you about it. It's almost more fun to talk to people that aren't fans because fans are kind of toxic and lame. A little bit sometimes. But I also, like, I'm a really big fan of certain things that I don't want to be like that towards people. Like, I love Beast Wars. I love Mighty Max. I don't necessarily know everything about all of these things. You know, Star Trek, Star Wars, X-Men, horror. They're like, oh, so you can't tell me who played Frankenstein in House of Dracula versus House of Frankenstein versus Frankenstein. Like, you don't know who played who. Like, you don't know who the second person to play the Invisible Man or the Mummy, or, like, you know, who played the Mummy in the fourth. You know, come on. It doesn't matter that someone doesn't know all the specific things about all the things, because, like, there's so much, and memorizing it isn't. That's not necessarily, like, loving it. Not everyone memorizes things. You know, knowing you like it is sometimes it's like that's enough. So I don't know if you've ever been a gatekeeper and, like, you're realizing it now. You're realizing how it's scummy. Like, it's okay. Just don't. Just kind of, like, realize there's people at different levels. You know, some people don't ever want to take the training wheels off. It's like, oh, you ride your bike with your training wheels? Like, whatever. Who cares? You know? Let people play a video game or be into a movie or whatever they're into at the level they want to be into it at. If they want to be into it, like consuming it every day and filling themselves with just, oh, I love it, this is my thing, let them do that. If they're like, oh, I do like this, and they just want to have a bite of it, that's fine. Like, but don't sit there and say, oh, do you really like olives? How come you didn't eat a whole can of olives today? If you really liked them, you would eat a whole can of olives. I'm like, well, I'm at a party right now, and there's some olives out, and I got a toothpick and I ate 2 olives because I like them. I didn't have any of the onions because I don't like onions. I had the amount of olives I wanted to have. I had the amount of Mega Man or Z-Bots or War Planets that I wanted to have. You know, like, you don't have to be everything. You don't have to, you know, I'm like a toy club. You don't have to complete the team. Like, oh, I need the whole team. Like, do you like the whole team? I just like Groot. I don't like the Guardians of the Galaxy. I like Groot. And that's it. Mostly. Like, I don't need Drax. I don't need the rest of the gang. I like the one. Don't gatekeep me. I will pick the lock. I will get through that gate. I'm very tall. I might be able to just climb the fence. Stop being a gatekeeper. Let it go.